praying because of what somebody is speaking is affecting you. I'm going to say that again. You can tell how a person is responding because if you're responding, if you're not walking in the image of God and you're walking in another connotation that's not like God, that tells me you're picking up the words of what people have been talking against you and you're feeling the way that they're praying. Those spirits coming right over there and they jumping on you. You feeling all these kind of way. And you, I just don't know, Pastor. I just don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. Number one, you got to deal with laziness. Number two, you got to deal with Antichrist. Because that's not the thoughts of a believer to be in a place where you don't pray. Prayer is your number one weapon. If you're not talking to God to deal with this accuser of the brethren spirit, you so busy, but you can't pray. You so busy doing everything else that's not going to help you. We're busy doing stuff that will drive us crazy. We're busy doing stuff that will keep us out of God's presence. But prayer is the number one thing that will help us. But we don't do it because we don't want to discipline ourselves and we don't want God to deal with us. We don't want God to show us when we have error. We don't want God to show us when we're wrong. We don't want God to show us that we're not dealing with ourselves. See, that's what the accuser does. He wants to put you in a place where you don't deal with you. Everything you do, you thinking that it's somebody else. See, that's what Satan did. He got kicked out of heaven because he refused to change the way he was doing things. He smelled himself. Heck, if I can move, the Bible talked about how Satan was such an anointed cherubim that when he moved, he made a sound. And that sound was pleasing to God. See, we don't got to a place because we think we can sing and we can dance and we can preach and we can teach and we begin to now look at the leader or either look at God. Well, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to repent to them. I grew up from this right here and I feel some kind of way, and then you begin to pick up how it was in your upbringing. It was dysfunctional. You can live in the house with your mama, don't talk to her. You can live in the house with your father and your siblings. You get your food and you go to your room. You can come in all time of night and don't say nothing to nobody. And nobody say nothing to you. See, that's dysfunctional because you won't got comfortable with loneliness. That when God's saying, no, you ain't finna walk in any kind of way in my presence and thinking I'm going to hear you. My Lord. You don't think so? Turn to Psalm 66. Because when you look at Psalm 66, let's look at verse 18. He says, if I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. See, they told us if I just show up and I just give Pastor $1,000 and I just give stuff to the church and that God just gonna bless me. That ain't what that Bible say. Your heart is your mind. If I regard negativism in my mind, it says God will not hear my prayers. That's the word. Well, I feel some kind of way because my mama didn't give me what I want and I hate her and my father made me sick. I can't stand them. And you think that God going to bless you and you struggling with your mouth and you saying, but God, I want to pass this test. No, you don't. Because until you first get it right with your mama, get it right with your daddy, you're going to struggle with this subject. You're going to struggle because God said, I ain't hearing nothing you saying until you first deal with what's in your mind. Your heart means your mind. The things that we keep in our mind that we feel like we got a right to feel the way we feel. And then we begin to talk to ourselves and we rationalize how things should be. Well, the house should be like this. And my supervisor need to do it like this. Because if they do it like this, it'll work better. And then you'll say, well, I ain't going to do it that way. I understand. I know what I'm doing. You cannot go up against God's authority. Well, pastor said you need to do. Well, I know my heart. I know what I'm doing. I don't care what they see. That ain't what I see. See what you're doing is when you coming up against what God has put before you to show you, the accuser of the brethren is telling you something different. Yes. You got a reason. Your pastor put her dress on just like you put your dress on. So how can she say she see that about you? See, the accuser will say, well, Dad, I know what's in me. I know how I feel. See, in the moment you say that, the accuser comes. And you'll begin to find fault with everything I do. You see, this is what that accuser spirit does. It'll make you find fault with the person who's supposed to help you. The person that's designed to help you, it will make you find 30 things wrong. And every time you see them, you'll find a new thing wrong. And then because the enemy wants you at a place because he said, I want to stay here. So you don't understand. The enemy want to stay in your body so he can display himself. Everybody want to be seen. These demons saying, I ain't going to want to be seen, so you get anger. Sickness want to be seen because it want to show it's sick. And so you got to understand that when somebody is telling you something, they see something in you, it's because that spirit in you begin to talk and say, they just trying to be judgmental. They just trying to do that. See, you got to understand, if you don't know God, that spirit will push you away from help. And that's why you got so many people gone to other churches because they didn't want to get the help. And the same person who they talked against was the same person God allowed to help them, but because they didn't want help.